elimination process, watching like nobody business. And look at that right there. He made a miss twice. Now Zepeda's letting his hands go. Shakur is going to have to fight back. He boxed like Tiffany for Zepeda. It really does. And look at that hook he just hit on Barboza with. Teo is on the square. I haven't seen him look this good in a long time. He's certainly looking sharp. I watched him spar in Miami. He'll look like one of his sparring partners through the ropes. Oh, the counter shot with the right hand. Excellent.
Shakur Stevenson vs Teofimo Lopez is a fight that boxing needs. The first real Super Fight of 2026 will see two of the most talented fighters of this era come together, whilst in their physical primes, which is so rare in boxing. There has been a fear that mega fights between boxing's up-and-coming stars would not happen, including those dubbed as the modern-day Four Kings: Gervonta Davis, Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney and Teofimo Lopez. However, replace Gervonta Davis with Shakur Stevenson, and you find all four within one weight division of each other, and all four up for big fights. Shakur Stevenson vs Teofimo Lopez is such an enthralling fight because it sees two modern-day boxing geniuses come together. Despite their insanely high boxing IQs, the two go about the fight game with such wildly different ways, almost certain to blend into a contest that will live long in the memory. Let's start with Teofimo Lopez. Despite falling short of round 1 of the 2016 Olympic Games, it was obvious that Teofimo's unorthodox style would be far better suited to the pro rank. So it proved as the takeover earned a shot at undisputed lightweight crown in just 4 years. The only problem was that he had to take on the pound-for-pound king of the sport, Vasyl Lomachenko. Despite being a huge underdog, Lopez would impose his will early, attacking the body and winning rounds. It was apparent afterwards that Loma was dealing with a shoulder injury. However, Lopez's performances remained stellar, and an example of how good Teo is at his best. However, when not focused or physically at his best, Lopez has shown weaknesses. Following this fight, Lopez would move up to 140 pounds, and after a few doubtful performances, look back to his explosive best versus the former super lightweight king, Josh Taylor. And most recently, Teo secured a huge win in confident fashion versus the 32-0 Arnold Barboza in Times Square. Lopez has had higher profile fights than Shakur to date, is experienced at 140 pounds, and has an explosive and unpredictable style that Shakur has never faced before. Lopez will almost certainly make it Shakur's most uncomfortable night yet, but is he quite skilled enough to beat him? Shakur fared much better than Teo at the 2016 Olympic Games, securing a silver medal for Team USA. But it was a painful defeat to Cuba in the final that Stevenson said was brought about by his own arrogance. Upon turning pro, he never wanted to feel that way again. Unsurprisingly, he shot through the ranks quickly at 126 pounds and 130 pounds. It was his stunning defence that stood out, arguably the best since Floyd Mayweather. Stevenson has some of the best range control in boxing, but even when fighting in the phone booth, he remains almost untouchable. Couple this with deceiving power and a future superstar was born. Stevenson scored eye-catching victories over Jamel Herring and Oscar Valdez. However, these were followed by some less than exciting performances. Therefore, his most recent outing and 135-pound debut in his toughest fight to date had a lot on the line. Shakur would deliver in style, standing toe-to-toe with the champion William Zepeda on many occasions on way to a landslide victory. Stevenson will aim to become a 4-weight world champion when he takes on Teofimo. Despite not having experienced the higher weights as of yet, the two are physically well matched. It is likely that Lopez's speed and explosiveness will unsettle Stevenson early, but Stevenson will adapt and begin to get Lopez's timing down, setting up counters to catch Lopez on the way in. Stevenson may be yet to have a marquee win that stands out on his record, but we are witnessing the rise of a pound-for-pound king. His talent may be his curse, similar to his so-called big brother Terence Crawford. As Crawford said himself,
well, this is his toughest task because Kell Brook was supposed to be my toughest task. And when I walk over him, then it's like, oh, well, that guy wasn't that good. We knew he was going to do this and we knew he was going to do that.
When you thoroughly outclass opponents in the way that Bud and Shakur have, it's easy to say their opposition was never any good, despite being world-class fighters. Crawford silenced the doubters in the end, with undeniable wins versus Errol Spence and Canelo Alvarez. For Shakur, Lopez presents that undeniable opponent, whose position as a top-class fighter cannot be questioned. If he secures victory, Stevenson would be well on the way to replicating the immense legacy of Terence Crawford, albeit in his own way, as one of America's and indeed the world's best.